I urge you to listen carefully if you're a man over 60, because what I'm going to say has the power to drastically alter your perception of your energy, your body, and your manhood. I've witnessed guys for years attribute the gradual decline in their sexual performance on their age, family background, or even past choices. However, what if the actual problem was on your plate? The truth is that most men over 60 are losing the power, confidence, and intimacy they once had because they are unknowingly weakening their erections every single day due to a lack of nutrients rather than poor behaviors. Another prescription is not necessary for you. Decline doesn't have to become your new normal. 5 easy veggies that have been scientifically shown to increase natural testosterone, improve blood flow, and give men over 60 robust, long-lasting erections could be the solution. I'll explain each one to you in a moment, including what to consume, how it functions, and when to use it. Make sure to read through to the end, as I'll be revealing the most potent vegetable you may consume before bed. So stick with me, because what I'm going to tell you next could mean the difference between fading into the best chapter of your life softly or rising to the occasion with confidence. The first vegetable is more potent than you may realize, and it may be in your refrigerator right now. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and activate the notification bell before we get started on the vegetables that can transform your health. I give honest, useful advice for men over 60, and I don't want you to miss what's on the horizon. Simply put 1 in the comments if you find this topic interesting. If not, enter 0, and let me know what you want to learn more about. I can better assist you thanks to your input. Let's go right to the point now. These are just regular vegetables that you can buy at your neighborhood grocery store, not fancy superfoods or pricey supplements. However, when taken properly, they can have a significant impact on hormone balance, blood flow, and your capacity to function as the man you once were. Let's begin with the first, and perhaps most underappreciated vegetable that may help you safely and naturally regain your erection strength. Beets are a vegetable that naturally increases blood flow. I will always remember the day Alan, a retired school principal and one of my lifelong patients, entered my office. At the age of 68, he exuded confidence and pride, yet there was a sadness in the back of his eyes. "Everything else in my life feels fine, Doc," he continued, leaning in, "but down there, it feels like something's gone numb. I'm eating well. Even though I walk every morning, nothing works as well as it did to when it comes to intimacy. Hundreds of guys like Alan, who did everything right, but yet found themselves quietly losing a part of themselves they formerly took for granted, told me about that moment, and it stuck with me. The exact thing I'm about to tell you, I told Alan. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with circulation. After all, blood flow is the main factor in erections, and for many guys over 60, the plumbing is the issue, rather than the desire. Blood won't reach the penis in the volume or pressure required for a powerful erection if it can't pass through your arteries with ease. Beets can help with that. One of nature's best sources of natural nitrates, which your body transforms into nitric oxide, is beets. Your blood vessels open up, their walls relax, and blood flows freely because of nitric oxide. Simply said, better circulation results from increased nitric oxide, and harder, fuller erections are the result of improved circulation, and this is supported by science. According to clinical research, beet dietary nitrates can enhance blood pressure, promote improved oxygen distribution throughout the body, and improve vascular health. This is revolutionary for men like Alan who don't want to spend the rest of their lives dependent on blue tablets. However, it's not only about the contents of beets, it's also about how they affect men's bodies after the age of 60. Our bodies naturally create less nitric oxide as we age. This is one of the reasons why men start to feel tired, have memory problems, or even have lower erections. By providing your body with the raw material it needs to rekindle that internal engine, beets assist bridge that gap. For the quickest results, I usually suggest drinking a half glass of beet juice 3 to 4 times a week. However, roasted or steamed beets also work well, especially when paired with healthy fats like olive oil, which improve the nutrients absorption. Some guys even mix beets with apples or carrots to make a potent circulation cocktail that aids during the day as well as in the bedroom. Alan heeded the advice. 6 weeks later, he returned with a different expression. In addition to having better erections, he was also laughing more, walking more quickly, and sleeping deeper. He said, "That's why I do what I do. I didn't think something so basic could make me feel like myself again." Your body still wants to operate for you. It just needs the correct nourishment. Keep this in mind if you feel like your sexual or physical performance is deteriorating. Although they may not be visually appealing or interesting, beets contain a natural formula that your body can understand inside their deep, red roots. It's food that works with your biology to help you return back to life, one heartbeat at a time. It's neither a medicine nor a gimmick. Speaking of underappreciated veggies that have a big impact, Popeye swore by the next one on the list, but not for the reason you may assume. This leafy green directly affects blood flow and testosterone, in addition to helping you gain muscle. You'll want to add it to your plate tonight when I explain how it functions in the male body after the age of 60. Let's discuss it. To let me know that you're still with me and prepared to regain your power, simply put the number 1 in the comments section if you're still here, and this message is speaking to you. Let's on to the next potent vegetable now. Vegetable 2, energy leaf, spinach, and erections. Most people associate spinach with childhood lunches they avoided or cartoon muscles. However, spinach is a very different matter to me. I picture vibrancy, blood flow, and energy. One of my patients, Carl Doris, a 72-year-old widower who recently got married again, comes to mind. He approached me with a smile on his face, but underneath it was a silent fear. "I love this woman, Doc," he continued. "I never imagined that I would have another chance at love in this lifetime. However, I'm afraid that I won't be sufficient for her and that my body won't be able to support my desires." That really got to me, since so many older guys secretly suffer from the dread of not being good enough. However, I've discovered that the answer is frequently straightforward. Simple things like what you put on your plate can sometimes make a big difference. One of the most underappreciated erection-promoting foods I've ever encountered is spinach. Magnesium, which is abundant in it, is essential for widening blood vessels and enhancing circulation. Additionally, your capacity to obtain and sustain an erection increases as blood circulation does. Additionally, testosterone, the hormone that controls a man's strength, desire, and vitality, is regulated in part by magnesium. Spinach supports your body's natural hormone balance in a safe and natural way by slowing down the normal fall in testosterone that occurs as men age. However, it doesn't end there. Folate, a B vitamin that promotes healthy blood flow to the pelvic area, is another vitamin that is abundant in spinach. Erectile dysfunction has been associated with low folate levels, particularly in elderly males. Additionally, it protects your blood vessels, lowers inflammation, and even supports nerve health, all of which are important when attempting to rekindle intimacy. I recall telling Carl that he should start including spinach in his meals. A sautéed side here, a few there, simple and reliable. He was serious about it. He used spinach in smoothies with bananas and almond milk, added it to his eggs in the morning, and added it to soups. Little, steady progress. Nothing drastic. His enthusiasm had changed by the time he came back for a follow-up 2 months later. "I feel like I'm waking up, Doc," he said. "I'm more assured and in the moment. Additionally, my wife and I had an incident the other night. No awkwardness, no pressure. My body seemed to recognize who I was, and it just worked. That's how nutrition works, not in unpronounceable pills or crash diets, but in actual, complete foods that communicate with your body in their own language." Despite its lack of glamour, spinach is a powerful food. Your body receives a message when you consume this leafy green every day. I'm still concerned. I still wish to lead a good life. I still desire love. I also understand if you're still doubtful. You may have had some experience, perhaps you've been let down. However, genuine cuisine is truthful. If you give it the time and dedication it needs, it can produce long-term transformation even though it doesn't guarantee overnight miracles. We have now discussed testosterone and blood flow. However, what if there were a vegetable that not only promotes circulation, but also aids in the cleansing of the arteries that supply your erection? This vegetable functions inside, much like nature's own detoxifier, and has been used covertly to enhance desire and performance for generations. Although the next veggie isn't particularly sweet or seductive, it's one of the most potent herbs you can use in your kitchen, and its advantages extend well beyond the bedroom. Let's discuss it. Vegetable 3, garlic, the root of the bedroom. Garlic, I must admit, doesn't exactly shout romance. It's powerful. It persists. It's not something you want on your breath before a date night, let's face it. However, allow me to share a story with you that may permanently alter your perspective. Ray, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran, was one of my patients a few years ago. He still walked purposefully, but you could see something was wearing on him behind his eyes. He felt invisible, but he wasn't ill or weak. "My body doesn't react like it used to, but my mind is still sharp," he remarked. "I feel like the person I used to be is vanishing, like I'm fading." After asking Ray about his routine and diet, I made a recommendation that caused him to burst out laughing. He laughed, "Garlic. When I got a cold, my mother used that." I also gave a nod. "That's right." Although your mother was right on the money, she was unaware that garlic might also hold the secret to luring you back into the bedroom. Allicin is a substance found in garlic. Garlic gets its potency and its pungent smell from this substance. Allicin promotes better circulation throughout the body, lowers arterial plaque, and increases blood flow. Furthermore, we're not merely discussing your brain or heart. The blood arteries that supply your erection are what we are discussing. You know, our arteries naturally start to stiffen as we get older. As plaque accumulates, less blood reaches the places that need it most. Garlic keeps your vessels open and relaxed by acting as a natural cleaner. That is the cornerstone of a long-lasting, healthy erection, blood that flows easily without hindrance or opposition. Garlic, however, does more than merely increase blood flow. It also promotes the synthesis of testosterone. Garlic raises the release of luteinizing hormone, which tells your body to make more testosterone, the hormone that powers libido, drive, and sexual stamina, according to research. Ray agreed to give it a try, despite his skepticism. I advised him to begin with just 1 or 2 raw garlic cloves per day, chopped and left to sit for 10 minutes before incorporating into his meals. The allicin is activated during the 10-minute wait. It's the distinction between merely consuming garlic and allowing it to do its magic. We also discussed timing. Dinner time is the best time to use garlic. In this manner, it promotes hormone balance and nightly vascular health, both of which are essential for the early morning erections that men frequently begin to lose as they age. Ray returned to my office after a period of 6 weeks. Before he even sat down, he was grinning this time. "I didn't expect much, Doc, but I feel alive again," he replied. "I have more energy now. My wife has observed that I've been more involved and affectionate. And let's just say that we had a great evening last weekend without having to see a movie. A spark that reminds you of the guy you've always been, rather than just an erection, is what I want for every man listening to this. Garlic is not a panacea. It's a natural, potent tool that promotes the abilities your body currently possesses. I tell my patients this all the time. You may regain your manhood without changing who you are. All you have to do is remove the barriers and allow your body to function as it was intended to. This is precisely what garlic does for you, beginning with circulation and concluding with the self-assurance you experience in private. Garlic may assist power hormones and blood flow. But what if there was a veggie that could subtly boost testosterone by activating a switch your body forgot it possessed, rather than by repairing your blood? The next one doesn't appear to be very good. It's likely that you've passed it 100 times while in the store. However, one of the most unexpected secrets to male vigor is hidden inside this simple, crunchy stalk, and it works faster than you might imagine. Let's begin. Gindo, in order to let me know that you are still watching and that this message is important to you, please put the number 1 in the comments section. This brings us to the 4th potent vegetable on our list. Celery is the 4th vegetable, the secret testosterone technique. Right now, there's a vegetable in your refrigerator drawer, perhaps neglected or buried behind heavier items. In all honesty, it doesn't appear like much and is watery and pale green. However, this straightforward stalk could be your hidden weapon if you're a man over 60 and your drive, confidence, and energy have all declined. I am referring to celery. Now, I understand your thoughts. Celery? Really? I understand. Usually, we use it as a crunchy accompaniment in tuna salads or as a topping for peanut butter. The truth is, though, that most men are unaware of celery's secret. It has substances that could increase testosterone and gently tip the scales back in your favor. Allow me to introduce you to George. When he visited me, he was 66, quiet, tall, and a former football coach in high school. "I'm not the man I was," he remarked. "I'm not prepared to move when I get up in the morning. My lack of energy is having an impact on my mood in the bedroom as well as other areas of my life." I examined his laboratories. Though not out of the ordinary for his age, his testosterone level was below average. He had no desire for medicine or injections. He answered, "I just want to try something natural first." At that point, I mentioned celery. Androstenone and androstenone are 2 potent substances found in celery. These pheromones are naturally occurring and derived from plants, and they can affect how your body releases and processes testosterone. They influence how other people view your masculinity as well. Yes, including your personal hygiene and mannerisms. More significantly, vitamin K, which is abundant in celery, promotes cardiovascular health and proper blood flow, 2 factors that are more crucial than ever when attempting to sustain a powerful erection. And here's an interesting thing. Apigenin, a naturally occurring anti-inflammatory found in celery, has also been demonstrated in animal experiments to increase testosterone production. Your body is not compelled to perform any abnormal actions. Rather, it establishes the internal conditions necessary for testosterone to increase organically, safely, subtly, and gradually. The proposition was taken seriously by George. He mixed apple, lemon, ginger, and celery into his morning juice. In the afternoon, he began to eat celery sticks as a snack rather than chips or crackers. He didn't notice much at first, but something changed at week 4. "I've got my mornings back, Doc," he stated as he entered my office and took a seat. "I'm energized when I wake up. And if you understand what I mean," my wife stated she saw that I'm standing a little taller. It takes time for that kind of change to occur. It takes place when you provide your body the cues it needs to perform its natural function. Despite its understated appearance, celery functions subtly from the inside out. It boosts your blood flow, supports your hormones, and gives you a slight but consistent boost in your energy, clarity, and self-esteem. Not only below the belt, after include celery in their diet, some of my patients have told me they feel more assertive, not aggressive, but more grounded and self-assured. That's what makes it so beautiful. Because returning to your strongest, most distinct self is the aim here, not changing into someone else. Therefore, don't ignore the little things if you've been feeling disengaged from your passion or energy. The biggest changes might occasionally be brought about by the simplest habits. A celery stalk could be the boost your body has been longing for. After discussing circulation, hormone support, and blood flow, there is one vegetable that stands out from the others. It isn't romantic, leafy, or watery, but it has a special blend of minerals and antioxidants that are related to increased erections, improved fertility, and even sharper mental focus. You probably haven't considered it a bedroom snack, but after this, you will. It's crispy and sweet. Let's get started. Vegetable 5, carrots. The combination of blood flow and fecundity. You most likely wouldn't hesitate to mention carrots if I asked you to name a vegetable that helps with vision. However, what if I told you that the same vivid orange root, which you have most likely consumed hundreds of times without giving it any thought, could also improve performance in a completely different area? I'm referring about neuron function, blood flow, and even fertility. Despite not being ostentatious or exotic, carrots have subtly gained a significant position in the realm of male sexual health. One of my patients, Frank, was 71 years old, a former electrician from Michigan, tough, honest, and had hands that seemed capable of holding a ladder. But I will never forget the vulnerability with which he entered my office one day. He informed me that even after more than 40 years of marriage, he still had a great affection for his wife. "I feel like my body just doesn't show up when it comes to anything more," he remarked, adding that we still hold hands. His voice broke. I longed to feel like a guy again. That made me sad, not because he was broken, he wasn't, but rather because he was unaware of the strength that remained within him. All he needed was the correct encouragement to bring it out. I mentioned carrots to him at that point. Carrots are high in beta-carotene and antioxidants, which help protect and repair the sensitive blood vessels and nerves that regulate the intensity of erections. Most people are unaware of this. These systems can be harmed over time by oxidative stress brought on by inflammation, aging, stress, and poor food. By re-establishing equilibrium and enhancing function at the underlying level, carrots aid in the defense against that harm. There's more, though. Even in older men, carrots have been associated with increased sperm motility and count. Furthermore, fertility is more than just reproduction, even though most men over 60 may not prioritize it. It's about maintaining the health, vitality, and functionality of your complete reproductive system far into old age. Carrots' high vitamin A and C content, which promotes vascular integrity, also aids in better circulation. Not to be overlooked is fiber. Blood sugar control is crucial, and carrots help with that. As men age, insulin resistance and blood sugar surges are two of the main causes of erectile dysfunction. Maintaining those levels helps maintain hormonal health, blood flow, and sensitivity, all of which are related to enjoyment and performance. Frank took it personally. He began snacking on raw carrots in the afternoon. For supper, he started roasting them with garlic and a little olive oil, in order to have something easy to drink before his daily stroll. He would occasionally juice them with apples in the morning. I noticed a change within a few months. He had less energy. He spoke in a different tone. I saw something even more significant return to his face when he told me that we were once again close, not only emotionally. Pride. Food has the power to achieve that, not overnight or in a single mouthful, but gradually and purposefully. Carrots help with more than simply arousal biology. They support the emotional area where self-assurance returns. That trust means the world to men like Frank, and perhaps even to you. To feel like yourself again, you don't have to completely change your life. Sometimes all you need to do is give your body what it has been subtly requesting all along. Carrots serve as a reminder that performance and healing don't necessarily originate in a lab. They can occasionally grow in soil. We've now discussed 5 potent veggies that improve blood flow, hormone balance, and general energy levels throughout the day. However, I've kept one more for last. It's not for your lunch salad or smoothie in the morning. It's time to go to bed. It improves testosterone production overnight, restores circulation, and primes your body for the kind of mornings you haven't had in years while you sleep. It's easy, often forgotten, and might be the most significant vegetable on the list. Let's discuss it. Asparagus is the 6th vegetable. The last secret is the one vegetable before bed. What occurs to a man's body as he sleeps has a certain potency. If you're over 60, the nighttime hours are when your body either regains its strength or subtly moves away from it. It's also when our systems are reset, hormones are created, and blood vessels are repaired. This is why most people don't realize how important what you eat before bed is. Tonight, I'd want to introduce you to one last vegetable that has the power to change everything. For men who are serious about getting their energy, confidence, and performance back, this is one of the few foods I recommend explicitly at night. It's not fancy or expensive. Asparagus is that vegetable. I can still clearly recall one patient. Walter was a 75-year-old retired accountant who was kind and reserved. He was the type of man who avoided discussing his emotions, especially in a medical setting. However, he stated in a hushed voice, "I just want to feel useful again, like I still have something to give." After we had discussed his lab results and the fact that his testosterone was declining. That stuck with me because I knew he was talking about intimacy, connection, and presence, rather than merely labor or duties. I thus suggested that Walter try something new, not a supplement or a pill, just a straightforward adjustment to his evening meal. 3 nights a week, I advised him to start using steamed asparagus in his dinner. It should be simply sautéed without being overcooked, with a few stalks drizzled with olive oil and perhaps a dash of sea salt. It was almost too easy. However, the majority of individuals are unaware of this. Your body's nighttime recovery mechanisms will benefit from the abundance of nutrients found in asparagus. Folate, which is abundant in asparagus, promotes blood flow and neuronal function. It is rich in vitamin E, a nutrient closely linked to hormone control and the natural generation of testosterone, and it contains glutathione, a potent antioxidant that aids in the battle against oxidative stress, the precise type that harms the tissues involved in obtaining and sustaining erections. However, asparagus' ability to maintain the male body after dark is what really makes it magical. The majority of testosterone is created when you sleep, particularly in the early morning. That hormonal surge might flatten if your body isn't getting the nourishment it needs in the evening. This is frequently the silent start of decreased libido, exhaustion, and the kind of gradual drop that leaves many men wondering where their spark gone. I saw it before Walter even sat down when he returned for his follow-up. His face had more color, and his stance exuded a serene assurance. "I've been sleeping better, waking up more, and I'm ready, not just sexually, but psychologically," he said. "Something seems to have been refilled. That's the objective, a stronger life, not simply better erections." The reason asparagus works is that it honors your body's rhythm. It facilitates your natural processes without coercion or interference. It helps you not only get through the night, but also be ready for the following day and all the moments you wish to regain. Over time, this type of silent support accumulates until you come to the realization that you are no longer hoping for a better version of yourself. You're experiencing it. In conclusion, your next move. As someone who has witnessed the damage that aging can do to a man's spirit and the power of wise decisions to restore it, I would want to take a moment to speak directly to you if you have read this far. You just learned about 6 potent veggies that aren't medicines, fads, or gimmicks, but genuine, entire, easily accessible food, and each one has a special function in helping men over 60 recover what they believed were lost forever. 1. Beets. Blood flow is boosted by the deep crimson root. 2. Spinach. The leafy green that increases energy and testosterone. 3. Garlic. The bedroom root that promotes circulation and unclogs arteries. 4. Celery. The secret testosterone method that gives you back your hormonal self-assurance. 5. Carrots. The combination of blood flow and fecundity that heals arteries and nerves. 6. Asparagus. The powerhouse that powers overnight healing at night. This is where I'm going to talk directly to your heart. Perhaps you're still doubtful, or perhaps you're feeling optimistic. It's all right. This isn't easy, I know. People have been telling you for years that aging is a natural part of decline. However, I'm here to tell you that it need not be. I've been assisting guys in changing the perception of aging for more than 30 years. Not because they purchased the newest supplement or adhered to a rigid diet, but rather because they made simple, consistent decisions that honored their body's innate ability to recover, develop, and thrive. I've witnessed men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s turn their lives around. You don't have to finish everything at once. All you have to do is begin. Start with a single easy adjustment. Include beets in your smoothie in the morning. Add a few spinach leaves to your eggs. At dinner, chop a clove of garlic. Choose one vegetable, do one action, and let it to be the start of something better. Because sex isn't the only thing at stake. It has to do with your identity. It has to do with feeling alive, desirable, and required. It's about presenting yourself in your relationships as a man who still has a lot to contribute, rather than as one who is fading. Your body is still with you. All it needs is for you to provide it with what it has been lacking. You may use these 6 vegetables to create the most satisfying chapter of your life. They are more than just nourishment. Since you're not done yet, I sincerely hope you take the next step, not for me, but for you. We all grow when we share, so please share what you learned today and what change you're ready to make in the comments box below. Let's support each other. If you found this movie useful or if it even slightly opened your eyes, please click the like button. To be sure you don't miss any information that could change your health, click subscribe. Before you go, ring the bell. If this video was helpful, please enter 1. If not, enter 0. You might not be aware of the significance of your comment. You have only just begun. Please like this video if this message resonated with you, or if even one part inspired, heard, or made you feel noticed. When more men like you need this message the most, it helps them find it. Additionally, share this with any fathers, brothers, or friends you know who might find it helpful. You have no idea how much a single, straightforward chat may alter. I'd love to hear from you as well. Tell me in the comments below which of the 6 vegetables you plan to try first. Which aspect of this video most resonated with you? I've read each and every comment, and your thoughts serve as a reminder to me of why I do this job. Additionally, if you want to support this goal and believe in the positive health advice we're generating for older guys, please think about giving a little payment. It helps me reach more individuals in need and sustains this channel. This is just the beginning of your trip. This is where it begins. Together, let's move forward.